Hello friends, welcome to my first video for 2022. Anyway, it's still a new year. Happy New Year if I've not wished you one. Today in my first video, I am going to talk about the top 10 technologies that you need to look out for in 2022. I had wanted to do this video for some time, but I was a bit busy with some few things. And so I'm really excited to do this video. Now, this video is going to expose you guys to all the technologies that have been going around for recent years and to also guide you on what to look out to if you intend to learn something new, if you need to um, you know, upgrade or get a new skill, maybe to get a new job or to do your job better. Yes, so this is on the top 10 technologies to learn in 2022. You can have your own, you can agree, disagree, but I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from this video. So now let's look at them. Now, my number 10, cloud computing. Now, cloud computing is the delivery of different services through the internet. So, if you've heard of things like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Firebase, okay, these are all examples of cloud computing. So, basically, what you do is that you have your computer and then you subscribe to these services and you don't need physical server, a database infrastructure. Everything is there. So it's more of you subscribe depending on how much you want and then you can go ahead and then use that. So if you have these skills, it's going to help you a lot, not only for your own business, but then for your clients. Okay, a lot of them are interested in that because they just want to close their laptop and then they can take their work with them everywhere they are. They can access their database from their bedroom, from their offices, from anywhere at all. So, like I said, these resources include tools, applications like data storage, servers, databases, networking, software. Now, as long as an electronic device has access to the web, it has access to the data and the software programs that run it. So let's look at my number 9, Internet of Things. Now, what is Internet of Things? So basically we are referring to the network of physical objects. So now think of it this way. What if your car can communicate to your computer when it arrives home? So for instance, you can have, a watch as part of the IoT, and then whenever you get to the house, it alerts your wife or your kids that you are at home, and then they come to, reopen and then open the door and then all that. Okay, so we are talking about a network of these things, and it's used in so many applications. For instance, you can have devices fixed to, let's say, cows or cattle, and then it can send messages to you can send message to yourself at home when to tell the location of where the cows are. It could be a car, so many things. Now these are done with embedding sensors, software and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other services and systems over the internet. So you just need the internet to be able to do this communication. Okay, so you can have um IoT, you can have let's say a temperature measuring instrument on the field, which sends you a notification as and when temperature changes, and then all that. Now, what's my number 9? Cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity has become a thing of great concern, especially with so many people subscribing to social media applications, um, communicating through the internet, having websites, and then so on. So a lot of people are targeting a lot of applications online. So cybersecurity is actually the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, and then data. So the attack could actually be targeted at just a computer. It could be targeted at your device. It could be targeted to an app. Okay, it could be targeted to a software, an application that you've subscribed to. It could be targeted to your website. Okay. So, like I said, it could be network, application, and so on. And then so on. So cybersecurity is of great concern, and a lot of companies, especially government institutions, are being advised to beef up their security. So if you are well versed in that area, then you could be, find yourself useful helping companies to protect their data, to protect their computers, to protect their applications. Now let's move to number 7. So number 7, I'm talking about GIS, spatial analytics, and then location intelligence. This is actually the first thing that I actually studied. And whilst a lot of people may still not be aware of the power or the capacity of this, just look at things like Uber, look at things like Google Map, look at things like Bolt, and then so on. Okay, so basically everything on the Earth's surface has a location. So you'll be able to identify or to locate anything actually using its geographic coordinates. So when there are changes, you should be able to do that. Now, this have grown to not just finding or visualizing location, but being able to make analysis like what's the nearest health facility, what's the nearest bank around, how long is it from here to from one point to another, what is the optimal point, what's the optimal distance, and then even so many things. Okay, so GIS is one area that you could also look at, and there are a lot of platforms or applications that make this subject an easy one. Okay, now let's talk about number 6, games, 3D modeling, and animation. Now this is increasingly growing, and a lot of people are into this area. I consider this area to be um, one of the areas that I would really advise you, if you are really interested in art, if you are really interested in games, designing games, or bringing life to the screens. Okay, this is an area that you could actually master, and you are really going to blow up. Okay, because this field is never going to go away. With so many people sticking so much to their computers and their phones, they really enjoy playing games, watching animations, and of course, modeling. Okay, so 3D modeling. It's being utilized by real estate and a whole lot of institutions. So yeah, so at my number 5, web design. Now, web design and development. So when I talk about web design and development, okay, they are basically like, though they may look different, but they're actually the same. So whilst you can look at web design as using, a normal content management system like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal to build and design a web application without writing code. You could look at web development as maybe using actually writing codes to design and to build your application. And then whilst the design could get you a bit limited because you only work with available plugins to build websites, basically, the web development aspect gives you the full power to build your web application, to work on in browsers. Okay, using Python, using JavaScript, using PHP. Okay, to more of time build the backend, and then you use HTML and CSS to build the front end. So it is one area that is not going to go away, and it will keep on increasing. Blowing up. So number four, I'll talk about mobile development. Now, when you look at mobile development, I don't need to really explain that much. There are two types. You could build a native mobile app by using a native development platform like Android Studio, using Kotlin or Java for most of the time, or using maybe Swift to build iPhone apps, iOS apps. So that is one area. The other area is using and building hybrid or what we call cross-platform applications. So these are apps that you build, and then you can use the same code base to deploy for all the mobile operating systems. Okay, so I would encourage most people going into this field to look at the hybrid. Okay, so look at technologies like Flutter, React, Ionic, Framework 7, and a whole lot. Okay, so this is not also going away because mobile apps is actually on our phones, and then we seem not to be able to live without them. So data science. Now, these are fields that have been there, okay, but over the past few years, it has been, modified, okay, and make it stand alone. So with data becoming very powerful and very important, there is a need to study the science of the data. So we should be able to look at the trends in our data. We should be able to use our data to forecast, to predict, and then so on. Okay, so over here, you look at various data science techniques. You study data science techniques, and then you could study some programming languages, or you could just, use so programming language like Python, and then, or you could just use tools like Power BI, SQL, and so many things, okay, to actually do. And a lot of businesses, companies are going into that area. So second on my list is machine learning. Now, what is machine learning? Machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence. Okay, so it's actually you can't talk about machine learning without mentioning artificial intelligence. So, what does machine learning does? So, machine learning enables us to be able to learn from the past. Okay, so you have a set of data, and then your machine is supposed to categorize the data. Okay, based on similarities. Okay, that's what referred to as supervised. So you can have unsupervised, where the machine just are able to separate the data, okay, based on similar features, shapes, and then so on, okay. And then you also have reinforced learning. So eventually, you're looking at you go on the internet, and then you search for a product, you go to Facebook or your social media, and the next thing, boom, they are showing you this product. So chatbots, Cortana, these are all examples of machine learning. And so basically it relies on data. With data growing, increasing, it relies on data. So you're able to train the data and then also test with some data so that the machine becomes more intelligent and be able to make correct prediction. With that being said, let's move on to my last area. Number one on my list, which is artificial intelligence. Now, let me just say this: artificial intelligence is still in its formative stage. Okay, so there's still a lot of things to be done. So it's not really an area that I would say that you learn it and then you may land a job straight away, especially if you are in our parts of the country. But then if you are in some other countries, some advanced, countries, then they do have schools set up for machine learning and artificial intelligence. But then that being said, it's one area that we encourage you to go into, especially if you are in engineering, you are in maths, you are in the science field. Even if you are not even in these areas, once you care about data and stuff, you should be able to go there. Now, artificial intelligence leverages computers and machines to mimic problem solving and decision making capabilities of the human mind. So we want machines to be able to mimic and behave like machines. I mean, machines to be able to mimic and work like humans, to think like humans, and then all that. So you can see artificial intelligence application in robot manufacturing, self-driving cars like that of Tesla, smart assistant, proactive health care management, disease mapping, automated financial investing, virtual travel book agent, social media monitoring. Okay, so artificial intelligence is actually a big field that includes machine learning and then deep learning as well. So, folks, I hope you learned a lot. And then, if you have any question, if you want to have any clarification, you if you think otherwise, just let me know in the comment section. And then see you in another video. Bye.